squad and like
the other guy.
Yeah.
The other guys. And the gang.
Everyone else. Well, we can go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna play a quick video, and then as people are coming in, maybe there's more, and maybe not, then I'll get started. But this is a fun video. It's literally the same as last semester, so sorry. Oh, good. What?
Every fall, spring, and summer, hundreds of college students and recent graduates enroll in Washington Center internship programs. Participants gain real-world experience, pursue their academic interests, and expand their professional networks. No matter what your major or future goals, you'll find the nation's capital has a lot to offer, and it's all right at your fingertips.
I have done other internships before, but this program has been very different from anything I've done. The whole program, everything involved with it is much more in-depth, and I gained a lot more from it than I would finding an internship on my own.
You can't simulate this in a college classroom. It's experience firsthand in the work world, in the professional world. How do you act? What's the protocol? What's the type of thing you're going to see when you get out into the professional world?
To me, the reason you do a Washington Center internship rather than just taking an internship is because you get a strong first-class academic program, civic engagement, the fellowship with all the other interns from all around the world, and that can't be replicated.
There's a huge difference in what it's like to take that theory that you're learning in the classroom and actually putting it into practice while you're in a real-world setting. Students that are interested in working in a nonprofit, they actually get a chance to find out what it's like to work in a nonprofit organization where you're working to meet the needs of your stakeholders, but also trying to fundraise at the same time.
You'll get the chance to live in one of the greatest cities in the world and be exposed to a rich international community. Through the Washington Center experience, you'll hear from prominent professionals in the public, private, and nonprofit sectors. And you'll be connected with dynamic people and organizations shaping your field of interest and making a positive difference in the world.
I chose Washington, D.C. because I wanted to get the international experience without having to leave the continent of North America.
Definitely, there are a lot of things I could do at the University of Montana that I can't do here. But there's also a ton of things I can do here that I can never do in Montana.
The thing I like most about interning at the Senate is that I'm at the center of global politics.
With the Washington Center, you'll live independently, but always have support and guidance on hand. You'll also build professional and personal relationships with your fellow students, academic program advisor, course professor, and colleagues at your internship, a network that will last a lifetime.
This internship has helped my professional career because I've been able to network very well in Washington. Everyone here is looking to meet other people.
It just takes your college education to the next step, because when you go back home, now you have all of these professional connections and relationships that you made in DC. You'll never know where you'll end after college.
Many students discover that their Washington Center experience is a defining moment in their professional development. When you complete the program, you'll join a diverse group of alumni that span the globe, many of whom have gone on to become successful leaders and influential members of their communities.
Now that I'm along WC, I would definitely say I have clear path what I want to do after I graduate.
So the environments to live, to work, and also all those people that did this program, they're really good at work. They are really driven. So by being surrounded by all those competitive people, it brings out the best in you.
Throughout your time with the Washington Center, you'll gain greater confidence in your abilities and a clear sense of direction for the future. In the end, you'll leave Washington more experienced, more focused, and better prepared to pursue your personal and professional goals.
Anything that you want to do, anything that you had just like a little inkling about, but you never thought of pursuing it, you can do it through the Washington Center.
It's just unbelievable how many doors have opened to me that I never expected before. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that I was really interested in what came out here. Just learning experience truly transformed me.
So that's a pretty good introduction for our program. I'm just going to start the PowerPoint, not the notes, right? does anyone have any questions before I get into the spiel of everything? No. And throughout the presentation, I'll kind of refer to some of the pages in the brochure. They recently changed, so I apologize if I'm scrambling for page numbers and all their words. But this is going to be, what is the Washington Center? So maybe that video kind of gave you a snapshot, maybe not, but we are a nonprofit located in Washington, D.C., and we partner with universities around the world, including St. Edward's, to make internships credit-worthy. We have been around since 1975, and our alumni base is near 50,000 now. So a global presence, a really great organization, and we partner with a lot of different universities. Today I'll go over kind of the two main components of our program, both the academic seminars and the internship, and the three components of the academic internship program. So first up is the AIP Academic Internship Program. So why do an internship and why DC? There's a good mix of students here in the room, both sophomores, freshmen, juniors. So I'm sure you've kind of started to think a little bit about what your future may look like. Maybe you're like, I have just declared my major, or I want to change my major. And that's okay. Internships are a great way to test drive your future career, get some insights on what you are interested in, maybe narrow some things down. Your list could be 10 things, but the only way you're going to find out what you like and what you don't like is by getting out there and get some practical experience. So it is a really good way to also build your resume. You know, as when someone is scanning your resume and they see that you interned at the U.S. Marshal Service in Washington, D.C., that's going to stick out obviously immediately. You know, there's a lot of great opportunities here in Austin, maybe locally back home, wherever you're from, but DC is going to be an amazing experience just because of the environment. Like the girl in the video said, it kind of brings the best out in people. Everyone's pretty driven, passionate about something, and it's an opportunity. Everyone is there for the same reason, to get that professional experience and test drive their future career. So the main part of our program is internship, which if you're following along is going to be on page 5 of the program guide here. So our program is a little bit unique in the fact that it's 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. You're at the internship of your choice. It is going to be a variety of different positions available. So here in the sidebar of page 5, kind of gives you a snapshot of some internship sites within maybe your field of interest. And this is a very limited list, but I think gives a pretty good scope. Again, there are many others. We have thousands of organizations that we work with in the DC area. But one thing that we have an agreement with all of our internship sites is that you are going to have substantive responsibilities. So you're not going to be getting coffee or making copies, none of that. It is going to be within your field, and you'll be treated like a full-time staff member. And you also do have your internship site supervisor there who's providing feedback both mid-semester and end-of-semester reviews. And that's just an opportunity for the Washington Center, your supervisor, and you to get together to say what is working, what's not. This is what you're doing well in. So it really just an opportunity to get feedback. Maybe you're excelling in everything and you're bored. Well, what else can we do to switch it up? We would hope that would be not the case. And something about the Washington Center is that we do have a very tailored, individualized matching process, which is kind of explained there on the bottom of page 5. It goes through a couple of different steps, but basically you do have the support of an internship site supervisor upon acceptance. And from there, the first thing that you do with Washington Center is an advising session. And that's the time that you tell us what you're interested in. So for me, when I did the program, I told them, you know, yes, I'm a marketing major. I have no idea what I want to do, but my top 3 things are marketing, financial management, and event planning. Those are my top 3. Obviously, very different things, but still in the business field. And I want an internship either in nonprofit or for-profit, potentially government. So from there, that starts the conversation between you and your advisor to see where we're moving forward. Throughout the weeks or months leading up to your arrival in DC, there are an array of professional development workshops. Those range from mock phone interviews, where literally you call a member of our staff and you interview for a fake position, and we give feedback on how you did. And you may think that you're a great, very personable person, and then you get on the phone and I know especially males, sometimes you're very monotone, or females talk too fast. I know I'm guilty of that. And so just those little things that you don't know how to adjust. It's very different interviewing in person versus on phone. And all the interviews that you are going to have are Skype or phone. So just being able to read the conversation not in person is kind of one of the things that we work on with you. We do some resume review, some prep for your internship, things like that. So that's the type of development that starts happening before you even arrive to DC. And our staff coordinated matching process. So I mentioned that advising session. That's when you're going to have the initial talk, what your expectations are. Maybe you know, I want to work for a nonprofit advocacy. That's it. Okay, great. Start with that, and then we'll go from there. So we do have a network of internship sites that have been vetted through the Washington Center and meet certain criteria, and we have the job descriptions that they're looking for. And then from there, we refer your materials out to those sites that we think are going to be a good fit. Once you're an accepted student, you have access to a portal that will have where your materials have gone, and ultimately it is the internship site that's going to contact you for an interview. And it's your responsibility to respond to them, set up the interview, and then afterwards is when you connect with the Washington Center advisor. How did it go? I really think it's, and you start that conversation again. So we are there the whole time through the process, but you are ultimately in control of where you intern. And you do keep us in the loop the entire time, and we do kind of counsel you as far as next steps and things like that. Just to give you a little bit more idea of some sample placements, these are actually placements from recent st.edward students who have returned. So you can kind of see here the Arlington Refugee Services, Enroll America, Trust for International Strategic Services, and the National Hispanic Caucus of State Legislators. I took mine off of here, but I interned at the Department of the Interior in the Office of the Secretary, which was an amazing experience for me, especially being a business major. I had never thought about working for the federal government, and so that was something that really opened my eyes to a completely new sector. So that was the internship, kind of the main component of the program of your time there. The second component is going to be the evening course, which is going to be kind of explained on page 7 in the program guide. It is going to be once a week for about 3 hours, Monday through Thursday, depending on which course you select. And it is going to be a variety of different disciplines, usually 25 to 30 different options on a given semester. Some of those frequently offered are listed on page 7. So whether you need something within your major or you want to take something as an elective, me personally, I took Essentials for Aspiring Leaders, which is one that is frequently offered at the Washington Center, taught by a former HR director, and very interactive. We did Myers-Briggs tests, some workplace assessments and situations and group projects and things like that. Another popular one is going to be our Scandalous Washington on uncovering DC history. Half of the time is spent in the classroom and half the time is actually out and about in the city at the place where the historical event happened. So it's a really unique class. There's weapons of mass destruction on there. We also usually offer weapons of mass destruction, which I want to take just because I want to see what they talk about. And one thing I didn't mention is that the classes are all taught by experts in their field. They are not full-time professors. So for example, that person who teaches weapons of mass destruction, he works for the Department of Justice. The person who teaches our Intro to Communications and Writing is in Public Relations and Communications. So it's another networking tool that you can use and use them as an expert. So that's part 2. Part 3 is going to be our what we call the colloquium, which is basically our Friday programming. So I mentioned that you're interning Monday through Thursday at the internship site, and then on Fridays you're off and you're with the Washington Center doing some leadership programming. It is going to be every Friday, and it's going to be a variety of different activities. Not one Friday looks the same, but each opportunity is going to be, or each Friday is an opportunity to engage with professionals in your industry, get feedback from your lead advisor. You'll see here that it starts to break down that how it works. So first, most Fridays you're going to be in your lead small groups, which basically is a small cohort of students, 15 to 25 students from all majors, from all disciplines, from all over the U.S. and the world. And you're going to talk about some real world professional things that are related to you. So how to network, how to create your LinkedIn, workshops such as generational workforce issues, interviews, or how to be a leader at your internship site, kind of those practical things to really set you up for success. And then you have your professional track programming. It's a different cohort of students depending on your major and or your interests. There are 6 different professional tracks you can choose to be a part of. Those are listed on the black bar on page 8. So we have advocacy, sports and arts, business and global trade, international affairs, law and criminal justice, media and communications, politics and public policy, and we also have our science, technology, and society program that's offered in the summer. So basically that's going to define your Friday afternoons. The speakers that you hear from, the sites that you visit, the events that you attend, that type of thing. And it really is just designed to maximize your time and exposure while you're there in DC. We really want to make sure that you're connecting with the right people and hearing from people in your industry. You never know what you'll learn. So that's most Fridays. So it's a 15-week program. I will say 10 Fridays out of that, 8 to 10 are going to be that style, where you're with a small group, break, and then another small group out and about in the city. On select Fridays, we have our civic engagement and speaker series. Again, kind of a 2-part day. You start in the morning with a leadership speaker series. Some of our speakers are listed. Never mind. Okay. There's just a bullet there under speaker series. Basically just some panel experts or industry experts, something current in the news might be happening. The picture that you saw with Hillary Clinton was from several years ago, but we brought her in as a speaker that day. I have no idea what the topic was, but you know, we have some really great influential leaders that come to speak to the group as a whole. So everyone's together at that time. Then in the oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Did I do that? How do I go back? Okay. Okay. So that's the select Fridays, and then in the afternoons you have the civic engagement, which is another component of our program that we focus on service as well as community engagement, and it's an opportunity to give back, as well as attend sessions of topics that might interest you. So whether it's LGBTQA, whether it's torture abolition, whether it's, I'm trying to think of others, sustainable businesses, things like that, some kind of hot topics, and you get to choose which breakout sessions you want to go to. So that's a couple of times a semester. And then our one-time events are our career boot camp, which is kind of what it sounds like. It's an all-day intensive program where we have different industry leaders coming in. We do a resume review. There's different breakout sessions, again, that you get to choose which ones you want to go to. And in the fall and spring, we have a global Connections Forum, which is basically a global citizenship day focused on different cultures. We have a keynote speaker that brings everyone together. So that is our program. Those 3 components make up Washington Center internship program. Something that the Washington Center really prides itself on is not only do you have a guaranteed internship, but you have guaranteed housing as well. And with that, it is located in Washington, D.C. For those of you who might be familiar with D.C., it is in the NOMA neighborhood, which stands for North of Massachusetts Avenue. Here in the lovely front of your booklet, it kind of gives you a layout of the city. And our facility is located here, kind of in the top right-hand corner. That's where our resident academic facility is located. You can see how close we are to the Capitol and to other. It's pretty much in a really good neighborhood of DC. Everything that you could want is within walking distance. Grocery store, train station, restaurants, everything. And you are really close to Union Station, which is the hub, the train and bus hub. So you want to take a quick trip to Philly or New York, that would be where you do. They are apartment style, fully furnished, down to the plate fork you need to eat dinner on, to a shower curtain, everything is there. You just bring your bedding and your clothes and your beautiful self. And they are shared with interns around the world. Like I mentioned, we do have the Global Washington Center. So you could be from China, Mexico, Brazil, you name it. We have students coming from all over. But you are never alone, although this is a professional environment, and we want you to start that transition from college student to working professional. You do have the support of an alumni residence, similar to an RA here on campus, and the fact that they have gone through the Washington Center program somewhat recently and are living at the facility there for roommate issues, or if something goes wrong, that's who you would report it to, such as, you know, our microwave broke or something like that, that they're there for that type of stuff. And they also do put on some events throughout the semester, some social events and things like that. We also do have our Disability Services Office and our Student Services Office located in this building. And it doesn't say here, but I just want to point out it does have a 24-hour gym, fitness center, and the business center with computer and everything, and then a student lounge. So it's a great space, and it's also where our classes are taught. The majority of our classes are taught. So really is a one-stop shop. You come home from work, you grab dinner, change, and you go downstairs and you're in class. So how the cost and credit works, the breakdown for this is going to be on page 15. You'll see our scholarships and costs are listed there. At St. Edward's, you are awarded either 12 to 15 credit hours depending on your major and where you are in your degree. That will be for fall or spring. For summer, it really does range between 9 and 12, again, depending on your major and where you are in your degree track. But they all do count towards your degree, and they're coming from St. Edward's. So you're here on campus, you're just away interning the capital, but it's not like you have to transfer anything. You're enrolled here. And for the fee structure, you do pay our program fee and housing fee, and your St. Edward's tuition is waived. So it is a little bit complicated when you think like paying St. Edward's so I can get the credit. But as a courtesy, waives tuition and fees. That does mean that your final package can still be applied to our fees as well. So I know in my circumstance, when I was filling out the FAFSA, I said, yes, I'm taking summer school, and my package was dispersed over 3 semesters instead of the 2. There's also other ways that you can get around that, so I definitely encourage you to talk to financial aid about how it could be passed along or worked for your personal situation. Yeah.
Do you know if like federal loans can be applied?
Yes, yes.
Cool.
We also do have some private scholarships available through the Washington Center. Those range from if you have prior work experience or a leader on campus. We also have our Diversity Leaders Award. We have First Generation. We have Student Disabilities. We have Veterans Initiative, Muslim American Initiative, Long Criminal Justice. There's a Motorola Foundation Scholarship for criminal justice students. I think I got them all. I work in our fundraising department, so I'm like, let me go through them in my head. But there are definitely a lot of options. Those range from $500 to $3,000. So definitely don't let the cost keep you from doing this program. And we also do have a partnership with Southwest Airlines. An alumni of our program actually now works as a community organizer. She's a senior director of community and actually for Southwest Airlines. And we have a partnership with them. I know several students who have gotten airline vouchers from St. Ed's. So just keep that in mind. Maybe it doesn't come off of this big pot of fees here, but it helps get you there. So just keep that in mind as well. So the basic eligibility and requirements, you do have to have, you do have to be 18 years of age. You do have to have a 2.75 GPA, sophomore standing, and that is meaning second or starting your second year, not by credit, but you're all in your second semester, so it's not an issue. You do have to be approved by your campus liaison, so that will be Adrian Ramirez over here next door in this office. And his role is really to work with you, your academic advisor, to make sure that everything is situated, cost and credit, all of those things. And ultimately, he does sign off on your application. The components of the application, it is all online, but there's a handy-dandy little checkbox thing there on page 15, the gray box. We do need a resume, an issues essay, statement of interest, your official transcript, as well as 2 letters of recommendation. Now, for the letters of recommendation, they can be both academic, or if you have volunteer or work experience, they can be a combination of both. And there is an application fee of $60 at the time of submission. For anyone who is interested in summer or fall opportunities, I can write this down also, but there's a fee waiver code right now. It's my first name, Rebecca, and 60. If you apply within 3 weeks today, the application fee will be waived. So I can definitely repeat at the end, but it's REBECCA and then 60. So at the time that you're submitting the application, you will just enter that and it will not ask for payment. And speaking of the application, I did mention that it is online. A big red apply now button on the home page. It can also be accessed through twcw.apply. And our upcoming deadline, our priority deadline for summer is going to be February 15th. I know that's quickly approaching. And you can also apply by March 15th. So it's just kind of, we do it on a rolling basis. You'll usually find out within, I think it's 7 to 10 business days after applying. You should have a decision as long as your application is complete. Your letters of rec have submitted, we have your transcripts, all those little things. And for fall, our priority deadline is May 3rd, and then the regular is June 7th. I definitely encourage you, if you're going to be doing fall, you need to have everything situated before you leave campus, because you're going to be in summer mode and not into it. And so that's our internship program. And we do have some additional opportunities and lots of upcoming seminars. So our seminars are going to be short-term, very intense programs. Basically, it says in-depth assessments, whatever. So it's twice a year, both January and May, in between semesters. So maybe you're unsure about the whole DC thing. You can't commit to a whole semester, but you're intrigued, and maybe the topic interests you. The format of the seminars is going to be speakers in the morning, different topics, and then you do some small discussions, you do some assignments, writing and things like that, and then you do site visits in the afternoon. So you're with a smaller cohort, it is faculty-led, and through the seminar you also do some special events, so some tours and things like that, and this is also a really good opportunity. Usually these are not for credit, but depending on your major, 1 to 3 credit hours for the experience, because it is that intense and in-depth. And I will tell you that I actually have a really good friend of mine who did our seminar, well, 6 years ago now, it's fine. She met someone during the seminar who offered her a paid internship after graduation in DC, and from there was employed after that. So just the connections that you make alone are amazing. The most upcoming one that we have in May is going to be our Cybersecurity 2017 seminar. The dates for that is May 14th through 21, which is semester concludes, and it's going to be focused on the offense and defensive protection of online space. And basically, you'll just kind of explore how cybersecurity and national security are moving and that. If you have an interest at all in that field, I definitely encourage you to take a look at this seminar. It's an amazing experience, and like I said, the connections make alone are amazing. Are there any questions? I'm going to get a sip of tea, but are there any questions or something that wasn't clear about, or anything like that?
Can you explain the issues essay?
Yeah, the issues essay is like something that you feel passionate about, or shouldn't have said A. Something that you feel passionate about and or within your field. For example, I was a marketing major, and it was not necessarily this, because it was more something I was passionate about. Yeah. Really, just a way to bring examples so that you can write. Also, if you are passionate about a certain issue, it's also a way to distinguish yourself for that internship side as well.
Okay. And is it like a research paper?
No. It's 500
it's
words.
Just like about you.
Oh. It's 500 words.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, it can be something you've written before, like as a research paper, and you want to take that topic or whatever that you've done.
Okay.
And there are samples online within the application, so you don't just have to be like, okay. I think there's 2 to 3 samples, and you can always ask someone at the Washington Center for more guidance, but there are basic, like,
Continuing on the issues essay question, so you said it can be in a different field than you. Can it be like really different? Like, I'm working on an application right now for the international studies section, and I want to write I'm thinking about writing an issues essay on antibacterial resistance in like different countries. So like, would that even like be a smart combination?
I mean, my first reaction, I don't see why not, because the point of the issues essay is to show that you can write eloquently, and communicate your thoughts. So I don't think it's an issue. Okay. But I'll double check. I don't work on admissions team, but definitely we can look into that further if needed. And I want to ask this, but the professional or the statement of professional interest basically is just one paragraph, who you are and what you're looking to do type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, not a big deal. And Adrian can help with that too.
And then I have 2 questions, I believe. Okay, so the summer deadline, that's May 15th.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to get everything in?
March 15th.
March. For the summer program?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought, then what's February 15th?
That was the priority deadline. So basically, it just means that we start the process earlier for you.
Okay. And
So maybe someone has already been planning for a year that they want to do it and they applied in January. But that just means they're going to have their advising session in February and start getting referred out in February and March instead of being accepted in March and then starting from there. But it really doesn't limit you in any way. I will say that sometimes financial aid does, the priority deadline, if you're looking for financial aid, usually it starts awarding on February 15th. I will tell you that. But
does it mean you have a higher chance of getting in if you apply?
No, it doesn't affect the acceptance rate. No.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
No, definitely not.
When will the dates for the summer 20 will be released?
Probably in this summer.
Okay.
They're usually around the same. So our deadline is always pretty much mid-March. I think last year it was probably like March 10th or 8th or something like that. It's pretty much always the same. Beginning of February, mid-February and mid-March is kind of a good estimate. But yeah. And that is online. Anywhere in the booklet that you see the little mouse icon means that there's a web page that correlates with that one. So for example, here you can, well, this is for specific, but this one is more updated online too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then the 2 resumes, the 2 letters of recommendation, you said one of them can be like a work, boss person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not like
Or did it have to be
not like a retail boss, but like a on-campus supervisor or internship supervisor.
That's both of them are
Or if
campus
you
internship.
are an active service member of like Breakthrough Austin or YMCA or Big Brothers Big Sisters, and you the person that you volunteer for knows you. Not just like, oh, I'm applying for this program and like, who are you? What are you want someone who can attest to your timeliness, your character, your work ethic, and things like that. So on the application, you enter the name and contact information for the reference, and the computer sends them a private link that they answer a few questions, and then they upload the letter directly.
Okay.
Anything else? No.
Okay, wait, one more. Sorry, they're all rolling in my head.
That's good.
You said that our current financial aid could be applied as well, right, towards this. And I guess just talking to the financial aid advisor or our own would be the best way to.
Yes. It's probably I don't know who the contact in financial aid is right now, so Adrian has that information. When I was a student, it was the person who was the study away coordinator in the financial aid office. So people who were studying abroad, doing off-campus experiences, she was an expert in that. So I'm not sure if it's the same, but Adrian can definitely work with you on that part.
For the evening classes, are they Monday through Thursday as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So you won't have any commitments after 3:30 on Fridays.
Okay, cool.
And it's once a week. So it's not every day. It's just once a week.
So it's like Monday.
Yeah. So depending on which course, it will be Mondays or Tuesdays or Wednesdays or Thursdays.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Awesome.
Can you take more than one course, or do you just have to take one?
You just have to take one.
I feel like that's what you're going to want to take.
Yeah, I don't think you want to do more.
I wanted to do more.
The full-time work is out of 9 to 5.
Yeah, I would say most are 9 to 5. Some of them, the office hours might be different. 8:30 to 9:30 to 6, or maybe I don't know. It does vary per office, but 9 to 5 is the pretty norm.
So it's like a full-time internship.
Yes.
Awesome.
Definitely. And you have the weeknights to yourself, so you can go to non-TWC events, internship events, something you just randomly found, and just explore the city with your roommates, with your friends, with your colleagues. But you will be very busy. You won't want to take more than one class. I promise. I promise. And actually, the Friday programming is kind of a class in of itself. You do have assignments for that and things. So how you get the credit, those 9 to 12 credit hours, 9 to 15 credit hours, is 3 for the programming, 3 for the course, and then 6 for the internship usually. So that's kind of the breakdown. But yeah.
And they'll help you with
course.
that. Okay, yeah.
You work with your advisor.
Yeah.
This is like less fundamental, but more about your experience with
Yeah.
TWC. Other than like connections and whatnot, what would you say was your biggest benefit in doing the TWC internship?
That's a really good question. So raspy. I would say at the time as a student, I was a little unsure about, being away from home and all of that. And at the end of the day, it made me such a more independent, confident person. Just to explore a new city, to meet new people, to be kind of like forced into this situation. Well, willingly, I signed up for it. But, and then just all the programming that I've kind of mentioned at the time seemed a little like, oh, I have to sign into this, and they're taking attendance again, and this is stupid, and blah, 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 blah. But looking back, when I was interviewing for full-time positions, I wasn't questioning what I was doing in the interview. I wasn't stumped. I could answer anything that was presented to me, and it's because you already had to reflect on your experience through all the assignments that you do. So it was pretty much just that professional confidence and experience. Because it's substantive work, you're not like having to BS an answer like, well, I see on your resume it says here, and you'll be like, yeah, actually I did this and this and this, and you can answer the question that they're throwing at you. I think one thing to get your foot in the door and to stand out on paper, but be able to deliver in person is what's going to get you the job. And for me, that was the biggest thing. At the time, I had to go to another required meeting, and then afterwards, probably like my second or senior year, I was like, wow, thank you, Washington Center, for setting me up for success and really making me a strong candidate for employment. Cool. Yeah.
Kind of to go off of that, do you think it like helped once you were out looking for jobs?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Having that down.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously I worked in my year to an internship, and I worked at St. Edward. It's actually supposed to be just 7 days into my contract. I ended up working there for 9 months as an intern my senior year, and then from a contact I had there, I worked for an education tech firm here in Austin part-time after I graduated. And so, I mean, I was looking for full-time employment. They couldn't hire me. It was like half of people, but he wanted some young people and who already knew the program. And so, I mean, technically I've been employed ever since I did the Washington Center program, whether it was full-time or part-time. But what was your question? I'm rambling now. I'm so sorry.
Did it help? I guess just...
Oh, to help with opportunities.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, because, I mean, I especially for my senior year and 1 year out of college, I did really well keeping up with all my friends and contacts and things like that. And, I mean, your mom are great, your friends are great, but the ones that are going to get you the job. It's your professional contacts and your professional network. And so that was something that was kind of foreign to me, like, but I know a lot of people and whatever, but like, yeah, so I mean, just even knowing different organizations and experiences that other interns had, like, wow, I think I would really like that. And really, and one of the assignments that I really like at Washington Center is an informational interview. You actually are required to do 2. Basically, you pick someone who has your ideal job and you interview them. And so that's an opportunity to be like, how did you get where you are? What does your day-to-day look like? And if you're like, wow, your title sounds cool, but that day-to-day doesn't sound like I would love it. I mean, that's an opportunity to, maybe you didn't get the internship that you wanted, but you got to hear from the deputy director of whatever at some site. But so just, yeah, those connections are invaluable.
Is there a full list online of like possible internship sites?
There is.
Is there? I don't know if we publish
it just earlier today.
Okay.
Let me pull up. I actually have it pulled here too. So this is within each
Yes,
kind of
there's like
sector.
a collective one. Okay, cool.
So let me pull the international affairs one. International relations, global studies. And these are some of our criminal justice ones. U.S. Marshal Service is one that takes a lot of our interns. We're trying to get FBI right now. But both local and national law enforcement agencies we work with. So. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out and listening to my raspiness. Please take some swag. These are luggage tags, and this is a screen cleaner for your phone. So please take, I'm flying back, and this is not going to, take it to your roommates, spread the word about the Washington Center. If you have any questions, you can email me, and don't forget the application fee burger code. Rebecca, 60.
Capital R or lowercase r?
Yeah, if you have issues, let me know. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Actually, I have a question. So I'll be doing service abroad with a group here on campus in Peru.
Oh, my roommate did that. What?
So I'll be like,
and my ex-boyfriend, but
that's fine. That's the ex. So I applied to be part of there was like a separate quarter.
Okay.
There were like 2 different sections of the application process.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Does that apply to me as well? Because I'm not international. I'm just simply going to a service break experience.
Yes, but